everyone, welcome back to PrepTalk podcast. I'm your host Vartika Bhandari. With this episode, we begin our SAT exam segment. Just like the ACT, we will be reviewing everything about SAT and all the updates that will be seen further in the SAT Digital. To continue with the podcast further and address our questions, we have with us SAT Head of Tutela, Somendra Singh. Hello, Somendra sir. How are you?
I'm good, Vartika. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
So let's begin with the first question.
Yeah.
What is SAT exam all about and what should the students expect from this exam?
So this whole exam is a 3-hour long stretch in which they test you on reading skills and your basic grammar skills, all the punctuation, how to use the punctuation and how to use a specific preposition and all those things. And then your basic math skills will be tested. So yes, it is all about these things. And one more thing, if you want to be good at it, make sure to be good at all the basic skills that they are testing you, the skills that I told you about.
Right. So what is the current structure of the exam?
Current structure of the exam, as I said, 3-hour, 15 minutes long stretch.
Right.
So the exam will start with the reading section, which has 65 minutes and 52 questions. So you have good amount of time for this.
Right.
Followed by writing and language section, wherein they test you on the grammar that I was talking about. It has 44 questions to be done in 35 minutes. After this, you'll have 2 math sections. The first one that comes is a no calc section. You have 25 minutes to do 20 questions, followed by the last math section, last section of the whole test, which is the math section with calculator. In this, you have 38 questions to be done in 55 minutes. So you can just say that you have ample time for each section, but if you are not trained enough, for example, in reading section, I said 65 minutes to do 52 questions. If you are not trained enough, you'll feel like that 65 minutes are too less for the section. So yes, that's the overall structure. So overall, including these section timings, you also have 2 breaks. One comes after the reading section, the first section, it's a 10-minute break, followed by the other break, which is 5 minutes long. It comes after the third section, which is math no calc. So adding up all the duration of the section and the breaks, the exam goes on for 3-hour, 15 minutes.
All right. So our next question to you is SAT is all set to go digital. So what changes can we see in the new digital format as far as the content and the structure is concerned? Will there be any changes or is it the same format?
Yeah, there is a heap of change here. So they are going digital starting from 2023 internationally and from 2024 in US. And based on all the research that we have been through, we know for sure that this new format will be, you can say, less tedious for the students. There are several changes. For example, first very prominent change is the overall duration.
Right.
The test from 3-hour 15 minutes has been reduced to 2-hour 14 minutes. And there will be 4 sections. One section is reading and writing combined. So initially we used to have separate sections for reading and writing in language, but this time we have a combined section of reading and writing. That means you'll have 1 question per passage for the reading part of it, and for the other questions also you have shorter passages. So no long readings for the whole passage, no answering of 8 to 10 questions each passage. This time you just have 1 question per passage. Passage types are also going to be taken from different areas related to college level studies. And this reading and writing section, there are 2 of them like this. So 2 reading writing sections, each having 27 questions to be done in 32 minutes. So after a total of 64 minutes, you'll be done with reading and writing altogether. This is followed by a 10 minutes break, which a student can choose to take or not. And once the break ends, there will be 2 math sections. The duration for each of them will be 22 questions to be done in 35 minutes. And best thing, again, one more very prominent change is there is no calc section here. That means the calculator is allowed to be used in both the math sections. So adding up all the durations, you'll see that the overall exam time is 2-hour 14 minutes without the break. The overall type of the questions, the content is going to be more or less same for math section. But yes, seeing that the overall structure for reading has been changed to 1 question per passage will be very helpful for the student, because that's one section where people struggle the most based on our analysis. The calculator you can take your own calculator, or there will be an on-screen calculator now. So that's how the overall format of SAT Digital goes.
All right. So moving on to our next question, what is the ideal time to start SAT prep?
That's a very important question because students are always confused about when to do this particular exam, when not to do it. So I say that you just think about it. The best time to take SAT is when you don't have a lot of school load on you, because we see that students keep on taking more breaks because they have some school assessments going on and all that. So best time to take it is your 10th standard, when you have least burden on yourself. Of course, there's a burden of the 10th boards, but then comparatively it's lesser as compared to when a student takes the same exam in 11th, where they have so many new subject choices and everything. So best time to start with SAT prep is 10th standard itself.
All right. So keeping up with the standardized test prep and academics at the same time can be a handful for students. So what do you suggest the students do to keep both in check?
The best time to do it is selecting the right attempt for you. For example, the SAT is administered 5 times a year. We have an attempt in March, followed by May, then August, then October, and then December. I think if we plan for the attempt wherein we can anticipate least school burden, that will be best. And second thing, it's never like you don't have anything from school, which is why you have to plan everything out. Making a proper schedule is very important. It's instrumental in giving optimum time to both the things, the school activities as well as the SAT. So plan everything out, make a schedule for yourself, give some time to SAT as well as your school activities each day. It's not that you can just abandon one thing for several days. It's not going to help like that. And then, of course, get some help from your trainers, be it the school tutors as well as the SAT tutors. They will help you give optimum time because they'll assign you some work, and then you can just give it your own time, whatever is justified for either of the things. So yes, it is going to be tedious for you, but if you plan it out, then it will be lesser burdensome for you.
So you spoke about timeline. So how much does the SAT prep, including learning of the course and then working into sectionals and FLTs, take? How long is that entire course for?
So if we just reverse the whole process, a particular day is my final SAT exam. 1 complete month prior to that, you have to give to the full length test, mock tests. So that is 1 month out of the way. And then the course completion and revision and sectional testing optimally takes around 3 months. So I can say that the whole thing is around 4 months of affair. So 4 to 5 months is what you can opt for.
Okay. So what are some prominent resources for studying SAT?
So several resources are available there if you look for it. We have the official guides provided by College Board. They give you very specific topic-wise questions, and the questions level will not be overly hard or overly easy. It will just be representative of what is going to be asked in the final exam. Then we have College Panda. It's a good resource for math, especially because you have topic-wise questions, and they give you the hardest to the easiest questions. So that means you can practice yourself on a wide area of difficulty level using this. Then we have Khan Academy. How can we forget that? It's a very good resource. It gives you timed drills, so you can practice on that as well. At the end, of course, you can go for the online resources that we have curated on our website. So that'll help you because we keep uploading videos related to content. So you can always go for content specific videos, and the videos are made in a way that you will be able to cover everything related to topics like, say, absolute values or punctuations and all that sort.
Okay. So how many attempts can a student take for SAT?
There is no limit put by College Board. So a student ideally should not take too many attempts, but then yes, if one opts for, one can go for numerous attempts, whatever number of attempts are there in the whole year. However, I always recommend taking 2 attempts. 1 attempt might make you feel like, okay, you can always do much better than what you scored. For example, if the first attempt goes and I got a 1370 or something, then this score clearly tells me that if I give more concentrated practice, I can get even a higher score. So yes, 2 attempts is optimal.
Alright. So, talking about scores, what is considered an excellent, good, and a bad score in SAT exam? So, this question is not to demean anybody who falls into a certain category of scores, but then to understand where exactly
Yeah.
the score lies.
See, the overall exam gives you a score out of 1600. So anything upstream of 1500 is an excellent score. 1550, 1540. These are very good scores. But then talking about good scores, it'll be falling in a lower bracket, say something between 1350 till 1500. So these scores are not that bad, but not that good either. As I was saying, these scores will make you believe that okay, you can go higher. And anything lower than 1350 means that you have to, you should try retaking the exam. That's the category that I think will be good to understand what's an excellent, a normal, average, and a bad score on SAT.
Okay. So, how can students determine their target score?
Yeah. So a target score determination depends on two things. One is where exactly are you standing right now. So whenever you start with uh, the SAT preparation, using any application, using any tutor, uh, anyone will always ask you for a diagnostic test. So that diagnostic test will tell you where exactly are you standing. This diagnostic test will help you understand where can you reach, how high can you reach, and it of course depends on the understanding of the content that you have. The second thing that it depends on your target score is the dream college and the dream course that you are looking for. So, which is why I always suggest to students that okay, fine, 1550 and above is a glorious score, but then why are you spending so much time on thinking about such a score if the course that you are going to opt for does not require such a high score? So, please research at your level, figure out what is the exact score that your dream university wants, and then hunt for that. So that's how you can determine your target score.
So it's a 3 hour long test,
Yeah.
right? So during, especially the last section, students are worked out of energy. So how would you suggest that does not happen and they don't lose on scores?
So fatigue towards the end, all of us are human beings, of course. 3 hour long is a very long engagement. So I won't say that there is some magical way and you'll stay refreshed till the end of the test. Of course, anyone will get fatigued. But what you can do is have a trained mind while you are doing the test. When I see a question, if I have practiced enough on all kind of questions, I'll on the spot know what tactics to use to solve the question. But if I don't know that, then I'll hit and try, and that drains out a lot of energy. So please make sure that you are practiced enough while doing the test. And yes, I'm saying that you have to take at least 10 to 12 full length tests before the actual attempt. Those 10 to 12 full length tests are not only to improve your score but also to build a stamina to sit for those many hours. So yes, if you are practiced enough, I don't think your final attempt will be any different from your mock tests. So it will just be another mock test and you won't get that much fatigue.
All right. So what scholarships are available to students based on their SAT scores?
Several scholarships are available. It depends on the overall profile that you have and your SAT score also.
Right.
But then, in order to get a better detail on this, I think you can just Google scholarship calculator Tutela, and whatever first link that you see related to TutelaPrep, open that, and you'll see different scholarships available to you. Of course, you'll have to fill your details first, and it's a very good instrument. You can just look through everything in one step.
Absolutely. And to all the listeners who are interested in finding out the scholarship, the link for the scholarship calculator will be in the description box. So, last but not the least, what tips do you suggest for students appearing for the SAT exam?
Tips to do good on SAT exam.
Yes.
First thing, make sure to complete the whole course. Start on the right time. It's not that you can start the preparation today and aim for the exam, which is just like 1.5 months or less, for less duration. Okay. Make sure to give yourself good amount of time. The course is very easy, but it's strenuous as hell, which means start at the right time. Cover each topic by giving it sufficient time. do enough number of questions, and once you're done with the whole course, start doing sectional testing. Right? Buy any publication, look for each of the sections, and time yourself well. If you have been through the overall sectional practice and the revision, then you can go for good amount of full length tests. As we have already discussed about it, it will help you build the stamina and will help you keep your preparation in check. So 10 full length tests is the optimum number. You go through that, and by the time you keep doing it, make sure to record all the scores that you have been getting so that you can project what score can you get in the final exam. Going through all these things will definitely help you do good on this.
So with this, we come to an end of today's podcast. Thank you so much, Somendra sir, for being a part of today's podcast.
It was equally enjoying for me, Martika.
To all the listeners, we hope today's episode was helpful for you. If you like this segment, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Our further episodes include a lot of information about sections in SAT. So stay tuned for the next episodes. Have a good day, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.